everyone, my name is Emily VanderBent and I'm an author coach as well as the author of a young adult historical fantasy series called the Crimson Time series. Today I'm going to share with you 5 things that every author should have on or near their writing desk. So number 1 is blue light glasses. These are really great to have regardless, but especially if you're someone who's prone to getting headaches from staring at a screen all day, which authors tend to do. What they do is they have special lenses that will filter out that blue light that screens emit and just make it softer on your eyes and easier for them to handle. I used to get headaches from screens quite often, but since getting some blue light glasses and actively using them, they have been severely decreased, if non-existent. So proven test subject here, I can verify that at least for me, they definitely helped. Number 2 is a planner. So regardless of if you pants your novel, you are going to want to stay organized with everything that comes after that. If you self-publish through a hybrid press, or if you decide to go for traditional publishing, you're going to need to stay organized, know your due dates, set goals for yourself, and make sure that you keep track of those things and maintain those things. So I use a passion planner. I really enjoy it. It helps me sort of filter through not just like my writing things, but daily life as well. Find a planner and find a method that works best for you, whether it's color-coded sticky notes or color-coded pens or whatever. Find a way to stay organized and keep yourself accountable to that. Which leads me to number 3, which is note cards or sticky notes. There are a bunch of different things that you can do with these. I use them in a few different ways. One is I'll use them as a part of my outlining process. I function a lot better with an outline that I can physically move around versus something that's static right there on the screen. So I will write everything that I know about my story on individual note cards, sprawl them out on a flat surface, and sort of move them around until all of those elements make sense to me as a narrative. So that's sort of the outlining phase. When I get to actually writing and I'm sitting down and I'm working through a section of my manuscript, if there's something that comes to mind, maybe it's an idea or something for a character arc later on, or even a quote, and it doesn't pertain to the section that I'm working on, but I want to use it later on, to make sure I don't forget, I write it down on that individual note card, and then I work it into that sort of movable outline that I have later on. There are a bunch of other things that you can use them for. I know people who keep track of each of their different chapter beats on separate note cards. A lot of them will use them during revisions and sort of slap them on the wall or take them off the wall to physically see the process and the word count increasing, or the number of chapters that they have to write still decreasing. Figure out what works best for you, play around with it a little bit, learn from other people and what they're doing, but ultimately find a method that works best for you. Number 4 is external storage. There is absolutely nothing worse to an author than having sat down, and I don't care if it's you wrote 200 words or you wrote 1,200 words, it is still devastating. If for whatever reason that doesn't save, or your computer crashes, and whatever, life is weird, stuff happens and your work gets lost. So to avoid that, you want some sort of external storage, and you want to be saving to that external storage every time that you are writing, after every single writing session. I use this one that's pictured here on the screen. It's called Lacey. My cousin, who's a photographer, recommended it to me. He keeps all of his photos on there, and so I store all of my documents on my own. It has a ton of storage. You want to have some sort of external storage that you're storing all of your work to, so that at the end of the day, whatever happens, whatever life throws your way, your manuscript is there and it's safe and you're not losing anything. Number 5 is a candle, which sounds sort of odd considering that sort of all of the other things that we've talked about so far are tools that you can actively use while you're writing. But hear me out on this one. So everyone knows that good writing engages all of the senses. So I like to light a candle for a few different reasons. One is candles just in general are soothing, and they're associated with sort of calm and just relaxation. So in order to sort of get myself in the right headspace to write, I'll light a candle and have that burning while I'm writing, so that I can just sort of like let whatever troubles of the day are sort of go and just focus solely on the work ahead of me. The other reason that I will burn a candle, and perhaps even more important than that first reason, is the fact that through burning a candle and actively engaging your sense of smell, you will remember as you're writing to use those various different senses, whether it's smell, touch, taste, in the writing itself. Sometimes I even like to vary my candle depending on the book that I'm writing at the time. So I light a different candle when I'm working on my young adult historical fantasy versus when I'm working on my new adult high fantasy. Two very different vibes, two very different stories. And so I kind of like to make the atmosphere that I'm writing in a little bit different in the subtle way of the scent. So have fun with it, play around with candles, and see if it contributes anything to your writing process. That's all I've got for you guys today. As always, if you have any questions or if there's anything particular you'd like us to do a video about related to writing, editing, publishing, go ahead and drop those in the comments. And if you want to be notified of any upcoming videos coming out, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button.